Our warm-up for week 7, our fingerprints are dry, and so as you can imagine, take those nice thin Sharpies, go through each one and turn them into something. I pretty much stuck with animals, except for him. I'm not sure what he is. I can bring him a little bit closer so you can see how maybe he's an alien. All right, and we've got just some different kinds of animals in there. Okay, so I'll give you a second to finish that up. While you're working on that, I'm going to show you a couple of other little fingerprints, but I wanted to give a shout out to Walker on the food topic. He made a train out of his food. Every car had different food in it. Clara made a mermaid with her fish. Cameron did one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, which I didn't think about. Owen, I have short-term memory loss also. And Leanne, what a fabulous idea. So just to review, we're going to take our line drawing and we're going to add color to it so that it looks like a Miro drawing. Remember to try to use some balance. You know, don't just put these 3 yellow over here. Kind of disperse a couple of yellows around, a couple of reds around, and blues so that you have some kind of balance in your composition. Okay? You can also color in shapes that you actually drew from the handout or new shapes that were made by crisscrossing lines. So you've got all kinds of possibilities in there. All right, have fun with this, and don't forget your neat craftsmanship. You are in 8th grade. You should have good clean edges and nice solid coloring on the inside. So let's talk about an artist that we usually associate with optical illusions, or op art for short. And his name is M.C. Escher. Escher was a mathematician, but he also went to school for some different things. So let's talk a little bit about him while we look at some of his work. Escher was born Marcellus Cornelius Escher, or MC for short. He was a graphic artist. He actually failed his final exams on secondary school, but after a little break, he went to architecture school. He quit after a week to study graphic design. He moved to Italy, he met his wife, and in his lifetime, he produced over 2,000 drawings and sketches and over 400 woodcuts and lithographs. He is left-handed, just like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, and he has illustrated books, stamps, and murals. He was fascinated by geometric figures on the floors in mosaics in Spain, and he liked some of those, putting them together. So here's some optical illusions that we can draw. These are done with different lines, and they have some movement in them. This next one we sort of did when we were in 3rd grade. So let's go from there. We're going to work with color and shading to make this fabric move up and down. To make our op art picture, we're going to take a square piece of paper, and we'll do this together. Remember to draw lightly, and you're going to just give yourself a bit of a wavy line through the center of your paper. All right? You can make it as wavy as you want to. Then, vertically, you're going to draw 5 or 6 lines that are also wavy. So I may put one here. They may touch each other, but they may not crisscross. So obviously you're going to crisscross your horizontal line, but vertically they may just touch each other or even just come close to each other. Like I can come really close to that line and then move away from it. I could start here and go there. So these touch in those 2 places, but they do not crisscross there. So that's 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'll put another one coming out this way. 4, 5, and let's see what else I can do right here. 6. All right. So I have 1 horizontally, 6 vertically. They do touch in places, not necessarily have to, but they do not crisscross over each other. All right, and I'll give you a little bit of time to do that. That's super easy, but sometimes you need to think about it or make some erasing. All right, for this next step, I'm going to bring you really in close so that we can see what to do and what not to do. We're going to make this look like it curves in and out of the paper, up and down, okay? So it flows from one to the other. If you look at this one, you can see how it looks like maybe it's fabric and it's way down in a crack along here, and then it folds out and goes back down into that crack again. So we're trying to get that. We can't get it with straight lines. We have to use curved lines. And so you're going to start right down here on this horizontal line, and you're going to make one line curve up and back down. The more it curves, the more it's going to look like it's got a flow to it. Then below the line, I'm going to make it curve in the opposite direction. So I've got one above the line and one below the line. And then I'm going to repeat that, even to the point where I'm going to start back down here again and curve it all the way up and come right back down there again. And the next one's going to just curve up and come right back down there again. So it's really getting some of those majorly curved lines in there. Sometimes this is not going to work that well, so I'm going to bring it right up along that edge and curve it right back down again. So you really want to get, the more you curve it, the more this optical illusion is going to look like it's coming up and out of the paper. Flat lines make things look flat. Curved lines make things look three-dimensional, curved, round, or like they're coming out of the paper. Then, of course, below the line, I'm going to go in the opposite direction. I'm going to bring it down and curve it around, and I'm going to give it all that nice curve on there. Draw lightly. I know this is a little bit heavy, so you can see it. Then I'll just go to the next one. Here, we can even jump to this one. This one will do the same thing, curve out. This one curves up. And then we're going to just give it all these curved lines. Now this one's going to be interesting because it touches the other line. And so now my little curves are still deep, but they're getting very small in there. That's going to be fun when we color it. That's going to look really good. So the more curve you can get to that line, the better this optical illusion will be. We don't want to see things that look like this. That's just going to flatten it out. That gives it nothing. And then I also have some people who do this. They make like a rainbow. That's not going to work either. You want to keep the beginning and the end of each line right out at the edge, right on those vertical lines. And you're just going to fill it all in. So if you can get that done today, take your time. Now remember, we're going to color in each one of these spaces. So you're also not going to try to make it curve like this and then another one that's super close and another one that's super close. Like now I have to color all those little tiny spaces in. I'd rather color in these big fat spaces. All right. So you can see how it's really coming around and up and down there. Okay. So I will give you some time to work on that. And there you go. Try to get all these curves in there in pencil.